Shadakaka, everybody. Shadakaka. Alright then. Alright, so today I have in my right hand, this is a jazz bass. In my left hand, this is a P bass. There's a difference in both of these basses. Although you can take this bass and make it sound like this bass. And you can take this bass and get it close to this bass. So, today I'm gonna do something really crazy because a lot of guys made a lot of comments on my YouTube site, and they're like, "Yo, man, that's really just a jazz bass, or it's just a P bass." No matter what it is, it's a preference thing. All right, so I'm gonna make sure we get the preference right today. So what I'm doing, you ready? I'm gonna come through my acoustic AG15. It's just a little 5-inch speaker. That's all it is. I got it turned to 8 o'clock on the treble, the bass, and the mid. And I got the volume turned in the middle so we can hear it. Both of these basses are passive, all right? The only difference in this bass, normally it would have single coil pickups. This one has single coil, but they're sealed. So they're pretty much quiet, all right? And I guess you can call them, most people go like, well, if they're sealed, they're dual coils. No. They're humbuckers. No. They're just sealed and quiet. Okay? But if you want them to be humbuckers, they'll be humbuckers. This is DiMaggio's, right? DiMaggio's up top, DiMaggio on the bottom. This is basically a 70s setup. 60s would be a little bit different. All right, the rear pickup would be a little back, a little further. All right, but this is a basic P bass. Nothing is in it. No electronics, nothing like that. No electronics in this one either. All right, I only put these pickups in it so it could be quiet. All right, because it has a 60 hertz hum, and I didn't want that. So I took and put some different pickups in it. Are they expensive pickups? Not very. All right, but they sound great and they're quiet. All right, so first thing I want to do, I want to set this bass here. This is the jazz. I'm going to set it right here. All right, but we can get to it. I'm going to demo. I'm not going to split screen and do all the fancy stuff. We're going to go plug to plug. All right, so let's drop this down so you can see what I'm doing. Now, this is a P bass. This is the rear. I'm going to do everything individually. So it may take a minute on this video. This is the rear. This is how the rear sounds. What I'm going to do is unplug this, set this right here, and I'm going to pick up the jazz bass, and I'm going to do the same thing. That's right, I'm going to make some noise and everything, because I want people to understand there is a difference in each one of these basses, not because of the neck and the body. Tone-wise, there's a difference, all right? So here's this rear pickup. Okay? Okay? Now, you can hear that this bass is louder because the pickups is a little bit more upgrade, all right? And they're cleaner, so they're a little bit more upgrade. Now, you hear that? Okay, we're gonna take this out, go back to the rear, go back to the other P bass, and we're gonna do the same thing. Same thing. Isn't it neat? You're like, dude, why don't you just split screen? I don't want to. Now, pickups has a lot to do with it. It does. Pickups has a lot to do with the sound that you have. This rear pickup is not as high as that pickup, so the output is going to be a little bit lower. But tone-wise, okay, I hear a difference already in the P sound than the jazz sound, and to me it comes from the body. So you get that body P sound. Okay, now let's go to the front pickup, because that's where the difference is. Okay? Now, we're going back to the jazz. And we're going to do the same thing. Remember, things going to be sounding a lot hotter on this jazz because the pickups are a little different. Okay, remember that? Now, let's go to the front pickup. The P bass has its own distinct sound. Here's the jazz bass. To me, the jazz bass is a lot more focused. The P bass is a lot more bucket sounding. More bucket sounding. This is definitely straight ahead focused. And it's cleaner. Why? Pickups are different. Pickups are different. Positioning are different. The pickups are different and positioning are different. The body is different. It's a different cut body. The body is smaller than the P bass. The P bass has a bigger butt. All right? More body, bigger butt. All right? I'm trying to put it out there, guys, so you can say, okay, man, any question you have to ask, I'm trying to answer it now, right? To my ability. Now, does the neck has a lot to do with it? Yes, it does. Do you have a lot to do with it? Yes, you do. Whether it's gloss or whether it's not gloss. The jazz neck is way thinner. So your attack and your feel of this bass is going to be quicker, and the sound will be a lot thinner sounding. All right? P bass has a thicker neck. So the bottom that comes out of that P bass is going to be much more booty happening. You got much more booty happening. Much more booty. But I still like it, girl. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. All right, so basically, all right, so we go back. The bridge makes a difference. All right, this has a deeper bridge, a thicker bridge. All right, so sustain on this bass gonna be a lot longer. Let's try it. Ten hours later, we go right to the P. Okay? P bass. You hear the difference already? Now, to me, a PJ, people can say it's just a jazz. It's a PJ. It's what it is. It's a precision jazz bass. All right? It has a whole new different sound when both pickups are on. It sounds more. It has a whole. To me, it has. I wish I could describe. It has more of a boutique sound. All right. It has more of a bootylicious kind of thinning out waistline sound. I don't know, man. That sounded good to me. I don't know about y'all, but that sounded good to me. But basically, it has. I'm hearing a lot of booty and a small waistline. All right. So the waistline is this, the rear pickup. That's what I'm hearing. That's the small waistline. But then you bring the booty in. So you have something great for both. Right? You have an equal of each one of them. Where the jazz, if you pick up the jazz, is so up in your face that you're going to get a whole new different vibe. And I'm trying to go through this so people can understand. It's like, man, y'all start arguing about that bass and the P bass and the jazz bass. It's your bass. You can do what you want to do with it. I mean, you can put 90 pickups in it. Who cares? It still would be your bass, and you can call it anything you want to call it. Basically, this is a jazz bass. Do you hear the difference between the P bass and this both pickups on? And this has more of both of them are equal. All right? And that's what it sounds like to me. The front is equal to the back. There's nobody outdoing nobody. Where the P bass, the front is going to always carry a different kind of power than the rear. All right? So, and this has more up in your face, where the P bass has a more broader sound and a real pretty boutique sound. That's just my opinion. Now, as far as speed and thumping wise, the jazz bass is going to be better because the neck is thinner. The neck is way thinner. A different kind of roundness in the back of the neck. I'm trying to make it as, first graders as I can, because I want to hear this stuff. And I'm going to look at this video after I get through with it. So, you have, it's so many things you can say about this bass, and so many things you can say about this bass. Right? But whatever you say, both of them does what they supposed to do. You can see the cut on the jazz is completely different than the cut on the P bass. The P bass have a bigger lower horn, all right? It has more wood. More wood brings more bottom. That's all you have to say. More wood bring more bottom. I like bottom. I like less wood too. But anyway, basically that's what it is. And so that's my take on the jazz bass and the P bass. And the first video I did, wow, it blew up. It really blew up. But there was a lot of guys coming up, oh man, it's just a regular jazz bass. You can call it what you want. It's a P first, right? And it just happened to have a jazz bass pickup in the back, which gives it a very boutique sound. This is what it is. It's a jazz. It's straight ahead for everything. Can you use a P on a jazz gig? Doc, ladies and gents, you can use a P on any gig. It doesn't matter. It's whatever your ear wants to hear. Can you use a jazz on it? Well, everybody say you can use jazz for everything. Listen, my queen told me something one time. She was like, yo, you can take any kind of bass in your hands, if you got good hands, and you can get through any gig, right? Any gig. The bass don't have to be a $3,000 bass. It could be a $55.32 bass. If it gets you through that gig that you can make $600 and $700, you play that bass, and you play it like it's your last bass you will ever own, and that bass will do exactly what you wanted to do. I think a lot of guys get caught up, man, in names. I'm one of them. I got caught up in names. Names of what, if I didn't have this name or that name, bass wasn't worth that much. But if I had this name, then I could stand out in the crowd. And if I didn't have this name, I had to stay back in the back. What is that foolishness, y'all? That is just foolishness. That's what foolishness, man. I say get a bass that feels good to you and play the heck out of it. All right? And then if you play the paint off it, you want to send it to me so I can put some more paint on it? I could do that at the Hobo Depot. It could be done. All right? So my thing is, guys, listen, if you're just starting off, get a bass that feels good to you. No matter what brand it is, just get it so you can start playing. And then as you move up into the category of professional, you can start getting some of these girls. But when you start off, you can get a Squier. Ain't nothing wrong with a Squier, folks. Squiers got me through gigs. What y'all talking about? I love Squiers. I just love basses. So basically, back to the forefront. This is a P bass. Body's bigger, neck is thicker. Pickups are different. You got a P at the front and a jazz at the back. And this is a jazz bass. 2 straight bar pickups. All right. Configuration of the tone control is different. Straight ahead. This one round. See it? All right. And the difference between this bass and this bass neck wise, this bass is thinner. This bass sometimes comes a little thicker. Both of them have skunks on the back. All right. See that line running that line right there running up the back? That's a skunk. That's a skunk. What we call a skunk. Some jazz have them, some jazz don't. What's the difference between maple and rosewood? Well, here's my take on it. On rosewood neck, the longer you play it on a gig, the warmer the bass gets. You know, some people are like, what do you mean the warmer it gets? It just, comes from being very snappy and started going down to, being very mellow. Like as the gig go on, you're getting in a couple margaritas. She started mellowing down. On a jazz bass, she drinks before she even starts. So she's already wired. So she's like brittle the whole gig, man. Can it be toned down? Of course it can. But because of the neck is maple, it's gonna be kind of brittle sounding the whole gig. I would say brittle. I just say high-endish, very crisp. The whole gig. Where this will actually warm down on your gig. All right, you can start hearing your bass getting a little metal, like I said, like you buying at margaritas on every break. So that's my take on it, guys. I'm sorry it's like 11 and 15,000 minutes. Sorry about that. But that's just my take on a jazz bass and my take on a P bass. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. No, that's joking, man. Hey, I can meet enemies too, bro. Because the enemy can always become my friends. Alright? They can. Your enemy can always become your friend. Especially when you keep them close. Alright. And that's my take for today. My name is Johnny Lee Long with the jazz bass and the P bass with the jazz pickup in the back, which call it PJ. Shada-kaka! 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 We're out of here. Good job, baby. You did a good job. You did a good job too, girl. Sweet. He's out.